An estimated 152 million children are being put to work around the world. Hard manual labour in mines, in fields, on family farms. Girls are especially vulnerable. The number of children at work is set to dramatically worsen because of the pandemic. As it wreaks havoc on family incomes, many parents could put their kids to work. More than 1 billion children in 130 countries have been affected by school closures, and child labour has risen in line as school gates bang shut.
Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. First of all, we would like to present our topic, which is human trafficking in Southeast Asia. For an introduction, my friend Sherry Lemon will explain it.
Firstly, is the human trafficking definition. So according to the United Nations, human trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of people through force, fraud, or deception with the aim of exploiting them for profit. So basically, the trafficker usually use violence or fraudulent employment agency and fake promises of education and job opportunities to trick and coerce the victim. And victims usually are from among the number of people maybe displaced by natural disaster or armed conflict that happen in the country, who is desperately looking for a safety and protection. By using at least one means such as violence for the purpose of exploiting the person for financial gain or material benefit. So as you can see at the bottom of the slide, act plus mean plus purpose equal human trafficking. So for the human trafficking to occur, there must be the three elements of human trafficking, which is act, means, and purpose for the human trafficking to occur. So, alright, next is the type and purpose of human trafficking. So, the factor or cause of human trafficking that lead to the human trafficking is poverty, of course, oppressions. It could be in terms of racism, like what happened to the Rohingya people, lack of human rights, lack of social and economic opportunity because of lack of demand for jobs, so forcing the people to moving out and choose the unskilled job. So in Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, and Thailand is the most destinations country in Southeast Asia for human trafficking because of their growth in industrializations and demand much labor. Alright, so next is natural disaster environment. So during the environmental or public health disaster, the trafficker usually can control the victim through their needs for basic resources such as food, water, and shelter. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
So for the first issue is victim where women and children has been trafficked into forced marriage or other physical slavery such as prostitution and forced labor. They either been tricked or kidnapped by stranger, friends, or relatives. For the Cambodia history of civil war, which called Khmer Rouge, that affect their infrastructure and education, where has been destroyed, and also that make the Cambodian people lack of education and the lack of awareness of the human trafficking. So according to the research that around 799 childs been trafficked into sex industry. And also the Cambodian one of the poorest country in the world. As we know that Thailand is one of the biggest sex industry, and although the social hierarchy, sexual exploitation and use of minor of family debt were prohibited by the king, but they still exist in the modern Thailand. There are also issues migrating children from four nearby countries such as Laos, Cambodia, and Burma were drawn into sexual servitude to meet the need of Thailand's increasing sex tourism industry. So lastly is Rohingya refuge, where the Burmese government does not acknowledge them as a national race. They instead classifying them as Bengali illegal immigrant. And the government also took their own land and make them has no choice and freedom in the Myanmar and force them to move into other countries such as Thailand or Malaysia. So in 2019, Malaysia is home of 178990 refuge, the book of whom a Rohingya Muslim from Myanmar. And they are illegal or forbidden immigrants who live throughout Peninsular Malaysia. Even Malaysia doesn't call them as one of Malaysian residents, and also this is make them more exposed to human trafficking. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Karnalena Michael. Today I will present the implication of human trafficking. Human trafficking made a big effect to community, especially women and children. Children and women tend to be the most wanted in this matter because they are weak and vulnerable. Implication to the victim is victim will be faced a mental trauma. Most of the survivors end up experiencing post-traumatic stress, difficulty in relationship, depression, memory loss, anxiety, fear, guilt, and shame. Victims also experience physical injuries. They may be raped, beaten, and subjected to abuse over a long period of time, and a higher risk of contracting sexual transmitted diseases like HIV, and also infection, diabetes, and cancer. They may also be exposed to the dangerous workplace and have to work with heavy equipment. Victims are subjected to serious infection, respiratory problems, and injuries. Victims can become isolated from community, family, and friends. Some victims who return home or escape from trafficking situation may even be excluded from social group due to the stigma they face. The isolation also can make them vulnerable to being trafficked again or lead them to return to the abusive lifestyle. Implication to the trafficker is human trafficking is the fastest growing and second largest criminal industry in the world after drug criminal. Human trafficking industry generates a profit of Rm 150 billion per year. 99 billion of that is generated from sex trafficking, and 51 billion is generated from labor trafficking. The International Labour Organization reported that latest amount of the human trafficking victim is 25 million from all over the world. Traffickers also use deception to attract employees to work for them. They may promise a safe working environment and high salary. By using threat and violence, traffickers can convince their employees to continue working for them and to keep quiet. The trafficker also will keep their passport and ID to prevent them from leaving the workplace. Once the victim ages out of their current position, they may be offered a job as a trafficker. The more dangerous human trafficking becomes for the traffickers, the less likely they will continue exploiting others. Implication for the country is human trafficking issue will be make the country image become bad. It is also creates enormous impression that the country is incapable of providing for the citizen, especially in terms of employment and social welfare. Hence, the exodus of its able bodies youth to foreign country. There are some recommendations on how to combat human trafficking. Firstly, fundraising for charity purpose. Second, to help the poor to get the essential needs such as home, food, and education. This is more to prevent them from being human trafficked. And fundraising also help to raise the awareness of human trafficking to the community. Secondly, advocates. Advocating the communities, local organizations, and civil society and national governments about the seriousness and the dangerousness of the human trafficking. Example of campaign is Open Your Eyes campaign in Mozambique. And thirdly, awareness. The awareness is to bring issue of sexual trafficking before the public in order to stimulate community based on support. And lastly, local government should educate the citizen on how to recognize the human trafficking and what to do when faced with that human trafficking issue. That's all from me. Thank you.
And now, human trafficking has been going for decades and become lucrative businesses on par with other illegal businesses such as narcotic and arms sales. It is due to the high demand in the black market, and there are only those who are willing to supplying it, such as transnational bride trafficking from Vietnam to China and child trafficking in Thailand. In line with the advancement of technology and transportation today, it is helped further facilitate the expansion of human trafficking internationally. Countries with the less legal control such as Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia have growing human trafficking problem. Citizens of this country continuing to experiencing exploitation in forced labor and human trafficking. The role of NGO is very important in overcoming this problem. NGO must unite to become stronger and not act alone. When they merge, they have a power internationally. This problem cannot be solved in short time, but as long as people continue to learn about the effect of human trafficking, how to overcome and spread awareness about the human trafficking, the solution become easier to contain. I'm Nur Aina, and let's stop human trafficking.